Well, I'm completely covered in crap, so I'm probably working on a British car today.
Let's see what we got in the shop. We got the 968 that needs hoses that Porsche doesn't make anymore. We've got a RAV4 that's got a CAN network malfunction. The Moon Buggy, which, fun fact, was my daily driver for 2 days.
Because 7 of my cars broke. So it's just hiding from the rain. We got the Dart up here somewhere. There's the Dart. 66 Dart. We're doing a bunch of work too. New intakes, new carburetor, some other stuff. We got the 4Runner. There's the 4Runner. It's got, needs to pass inspection. It had evap. The evap system was trashed. The oxygen sensor had burned out. And, I guess, oh, it split the exhaust manifold. So that's getting fixed. That radiator's not going to last much longer. We'll get to that one later. And the Jag. Oh, the Jag. Yes. I just can't stop buying shitty British cars. All right. So this was actually a customer's car that I bought to replace the Mercedes that got T-boned. And just awesome people. I have an awesome customer that they've got 100 and some thousand miles, 107,000 miles on this Jag. Anyway, they were going to sell it to CarMax, and I really didn't want that to happen. So I bought it, and I've been working on it. And it's had this clicking noise. You go over bumps, and God, we put shocks and struts on this thing when he had it, and it would make this knocking noise. We couldn't figure it out. Well, I figured it out. Sway bar bushings. The frickin' sway bar barely would bang up and down in these little rubber mounts on the frame, and it was it sounded like the whole front end was falling off the car. So I got these. These were probably, I don't know, 10, 15 bucks each. So 30 bucks, 40 bucks to make that noise go away. Good deal, right? Yeah, good deal. Totally good deal. Well, it's like a 3.5 hour job to do that. So I got to looking at it and figured I can do this and not make it take 3 hours. Because I'm good at what I do. Yeah, I screwed it up. Yeah, surprised. So, here, let me show you how this works. Hey, and from the continuity that you could tell I'm clearly not wearing the same outfit, I accidentally deleted this file. So, what happens is, in order to save time, I'm going to go in from the bottom so that I don't have to take all the stuff off from the top and use my wrenches to fish out the 2 bolts, change the bushing, and then thread it back in, which should have only taken me maybe 45 minutes. So, instead of that working right, I actually could not get one of the bolts lined up properly, and it ended up cross-threading, or it was always trying to cross-thread into that cross member. All right, no big deal. So I'll just do it from the top. So I got in from the top.
Now keep in mind, there's a panel here, there's a coolant bottle here, there's a radiator hose here. You can't see anything in here, which is why I've got, hell, I don't even know where it is now. Oh, here's my extensions. So you got a swivel, wobble extension, regular extension, and the theory being that you could kind of snake it down in there and get to those bolts. Well, while I was working on it and reaching my hand in there, you can see kind of how brittle the plastic is getting on the radiator, kind of like that Toyota RAV4. Go figure. Well, anyway, as I'm working on it, I start to feel coolant dripping on my arm. That's not good. So, and what I'm pretty sure happened, I freaking hope this is what it was, is I think I messed up this hose. When I was reaching down, I think I cracked the hose somewhere. At least I freaking hope that's what I did, because this hose is about 90 bucks from Jag, and it took them about 4 days to get it. So my car's been out of commission for 4 days. So now, because I didn't want to spend 3.5 hours doing it the right way, I spent an hour and a half
doing it. I've spent 4 days without my car. I spent another $90 on a hose, and I still have to spend 3.5 hours taking it apart and putting it back together. Yeah. So, but I got a new hose. I really hope this is the one. There's like 5 hoses all over there. I really hope this is the hose that was leaking. You really couldn't see it, but I'm pretty sure it was leaking from this plastic piece. So there's a good chance I put this all back together and it's still leaking coolant. Fun fact. Oh, there's the mechatronic unit for the Range Rover. That's $2,300. And that is why the transmission is broken on the Range Rover. Fun fact, it's the same transmission that's in the Aston Martin, which broke last week. Transmission won't go into gear. Guess what transmission's in the Jag? Same transmission. Same one. I really got to stop buying these damn British cars.
So we're going to have some coffee tonight. I've already made it. We've got Dark Magic. It's a Dark Magic night. That's right.
So I got another hour or two. I tapped out the bolt that and got that working. God, it's so dark in here. The hell put lights in this shop? So I got that fixed and got the mount on. I actually took 2 people. I couldn't get the sway bar on. I had to use one of my guys here at the shop to help me out. I got the sway bar in, and that's done. So, and I just got to put hoses back together, and it shouldn't be bad. Oh, fun fact, in case there was any doubt that Jaguars always break, everything's got quick disconnects. So these, the engine cover, these are quarter turn fasteners. So I don't know if you can see that or not. So they basically designed that to come apart really quickly and easily. And the cheater panel, I don't know what the hell you call this thing, it's got quick quarter turn fasteners too. It's almost like Jag knew you were going to take this apart all the time. Dark magic.
So that's the Jag. It's not really a project car. Can you tell it's been parked outside? God, I hate pine needles. Oh, I hate pine needles. I'm moving away from pine trees, but it's filthy. The car actually looks really fantastic, and it is the long wheelbase version. And I mean, I don't know if you can tell how clean the interior is on this car. It's really dark. I got to show you some other time, but I mean, this car is just in fantastic shape. It's just so clean and so nice, and the headliner's not sagging. It's just a nice car. The rear screen doesn't work. The sunshade doesn't work. The turn signal needs to be replaced. The little turn signal knob, right? Click, 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 click. Yeah, that I got a new one of those. But other than that, it's in pretty good shape. The fuse was burned out, so the interior lights, pine needles, didn't work. But the paint's in pretty solid shape. It's only got 109,000 miles on it. Tires are in good shape. Got a little accident damage right there. He bumped someone maybe a year ago, but it's a good solid car. But it's not, it's not really a project car. You're not going to see a whole lot going on with it. Basically just going to fix it up.
Make it my daily driver to replace the Mercedes that got T-boned. I really like that S-Class Mercedes. I really want to get another one. The Jag was it was too good of a deal, assuming the transmission doesn't blow up. But the Jag was just too good. I mean, the car's beautiful. It's a cool car. My customer took super great care of this car. He bought a 2017 7 Series BMW. 7 Series or 5 Series? Hell, I don't remember now. The car was freaking awesome, though. He found it in Tennessee, drove up and get it. Just absolutely beautiful car, and I couldn't let this thing go to CarMax. I'm absolutely not. So I got a third 6 HP 26, 6 HP 26 transmission. I got a third one. All right, because they're working out really well for me. So you won't see a whole lot of projects out of this car. It's just going to be a daily driver. I'm going to fix it. Oh, turn signal. So I walked over here to show you the turn signal. Yeah, I didn't want. Jag wanted like $350, $400 for this thing, so I just got a generic one. God, this thing was still like $150. I think. I don't remember. I bought this a couple weeks ago. That's all it is. You just unplug it. But it's really notchy. It doesn't really work very well. And it keeps, you got to turn the brights off, and the brights stay on and blind people. So I figured it was a good time to fix that. But I don't know. I may hate it. I may end up going to Jaguar and buying one anyway. All right, well, that's it. That's all I got for it. I feel like I'm rambling at this point. So well, I'm going to go back to work on it. I'm going to go drink a little dark magic and see if I can't get one of my 7 cars working. Man, Aston Martin's still broken. Moon buggy, can't really drive in the rain. The Cadillac needed a radiator. Cadillac got a radiator today, still needs brakes and brake fluid flush. Actually, I guess I could drive the Cadillac. I think the Cadillac's fixed now. I don't know. Range Rover, we got to put the transmission control module in it and then tow it to Range Rover because we can't program it. Yeah. All right, well, I'll see you next time. All right, so I've already taken this apart, so you're not going to see me take it apart. I'm sorry, I didn't think about filming this until later, but I'll put it back together and you can kind of see the reverse order of it. So I was smart enough to put a light bar in it so I can actually see what the frick I'm doing. So I've got the we got the subframe mounts, or the frickin' hell, Robert. Sway bar mounts. Got the sway bar mounts in. Got that brace. You can see that cross brace going across all the way to the other side. So by the way, pretty sure, I haven't actually looked this up, so if I'm wrong here, I apologize, but I'm pretty sure that's the secondary air injection pump. So I think this is the air supply hose. I would imagine that there's probably an air pump down in the fender somewhere. But this, look, I've had a lot of Fords. Like, I'm by no means bagging on Ford. Actually, my Ford Explorer was one of the best trucks I've ever had, 289,000 miles on it. And the only reason it stopped running was because I hit a deer. But, like, I've had a lot of Fords. They are lazy when it comes to routing stuff. They really are. I mean, this is, like, every manufacturer's got problems. But, I mean, that's just lazy. I mean, you know, they hide shit wherever they can. And it's why these cars are such a pain in the butt to work on. In case you don't know, Jaguar, you know, back then, Jag was owned by Ford. And you know, this probably wasn't even a Ford design. I'm probably just butthurt about other stuff. But, I mean, that's what makes these cars so hard to work on. So, anyway, I just wanted to go on a rant about that. But, so this guy, I thought this is kind of weird. So, this is your auxiliary water pump. Okay? And it's interesting. So, oh, fun. So, the connector for this guy is right here, and this is really important. You always want to check on these. So this little red silicone grommet is for waterproof, and it keeps water from egressing, I don't know. Keeps water from getting in there, and you always got to pay attention to this stuff, because when I pulled this out, it was sitting right there on the frame. I almost didn't see it, but always check these, because 6 months from now, this is going to be a big problem. So, 1, check that, and 2, I don't know if you can see this or not, that is a screw hole. That's just a stud. Like, nothing goes in there. And so this rubber mount, I don't know why they did it this way, but, well, here, let me put it on and I'll show you what it looks like. All right, could do that with one hand. So, this is what it looks like. So, there's the screw, there's the stud, and this thing just flops. It's a rubber mount. It just flops around in there. And I guess they cram so much crap in here that it's not going to move, but, I mean, am I the only one that thinks that's super ghetto? I mean, maybe there's a reason for it. Maybe it's for vibration dampening. I mean, I know that it would be hard to get a screw in there because the screw would hit the hose, but, I mean, I don't know. Anyway, it, you know, seems to work. There's not a lot of these just sitting on the side of the road broken. So, anyway, auxiliary water pump, we got the bracket in, auxiliary water pump goes in, and then, God, the hoses. So, this hose
to get the bottom of this hose, you got to take off this hose. It sits like this, so you can't get to that without removing this, but this goes under here, so you can't get to this without removing that. So you can't remove this without removing that, but you can't remove this without removing that, and that is blocked by this. It's a fucking miracle these cars ever get worked on and come apart. And if you ever see radiators look like this, come on, there you go. So whenever you see this tan, the plastic turns almost like a crayon. I mean, can you see me scratch? Look at that. Oh my God. Oh, I mean, it's so soft. I'm wearing gloves. I'm scratching through freaking gloves. So you got to be really, oh God, look at that. Just come apart like that. So, yep, there you go. Just comes right off. So when you see that discoloration, be super, super, super careful. Luckily, that only happens to plastic. So thank God this car doesn't have plastic components on it for the coolant anywhere. Oh boy. Well,
It's probably why these cars are cheap when they get older. Also why these cars cost like thousands of dollars to fix. Because you get in here and you start touching stuff and it all just falls apart. So if your mechanic's ever working on one of these and they say, oh, well, you know, a few things broke while we were in there, that's literally not their fault. I mean, you can see how that just, I mean, it just comes apart. I mean, look at that. It's really a miracle everything they touch doesn't break.
yeah, and just like that, we've got a car again. So these things actually, they go together. Everything's quick release. So they go together super simple, actually. Everything just snaps into place. It's so much easier to put these things together than it is to take them apart. But I don't know if you can kind of see, I mean, all these hoses, you really can't see it. The biggest thing is these hose clamps, if you're going to reuse them, make sure that they're positioned where they're not going to rub other hoses. These hoses are so tight in here that stuff will rub very easily and you'll end up creating another problem. So check that, and then also pay attention to these guys. You know, they put these little white lines on there to line up with the little plastic pieces. It doesn't always have to be that way, but it helps orient the hose. And if you're going to use these, reuse these, there's indentations that they leave in the hose. Make sure you put them back exactly in the indentations, because the hoses will take a set form, and God, the hoses will take a set form, and if you reuse those clamps and don't put them back, they'll leak, and that's where a lot of people get them. That's why most people don't try them out. So yeah, you know, we got the hose in, air boot in, whatever this thing is, snorkel, coolant bottle. We got to fill this sucker up, and if I didn't forget anything, we'll fill it up with coolant and we'll see if it holds pressure. We're gonna find out real quick if that was the right hose or not. I just gotta put the air boot back on and find out. It's alive! So I did, actually, I heard the fans kick on high. Also, don't forget to bleed that. I totally forgot to bleed that. Fans kicked on high, huge air pocket, super common. And also, on a flat tire. So, if you ever have, bonus tip, valve stem broke. So don't put metal caps on your metal valve stems, because they will come apart. It actually just, it split. I don't even know where the hell this piece is. But the other chunk of it's here somewhere. But it just came apart completely. So don't put metal caps on there. The spare tire's on. Car's warming up. Nothing's dripping. And I'm gonna wash. God, I'm gonna wash this.
Yeah, it's filthy. Let's see, my air suspension pops up. Oh. Not happy.
That's not normal. That's a little low. That's a little high. Should fix itself.
And I'm back. So I realize I don't actually ever plan on how I'm gonna end these videos. So if I do more, I'll try to work on that. But it did pump up. It worked, kind of, sort of worked. It still was making some noises, but it was mostly better. Anyway, yeah. So the thing about the Jag suspensions is that, unlike Ford and Mercedes and a lot of the others, you can't actually do a whole lot with them. The CAT system is basically automatic. So in order to get the suspension to fix itself, it goes into a jack mode. And so the suspension basically just shuts down. The way you get it to work is you have to drive over like 5 kilometers an hour. So basically, when you're working on these cars and the suspension's deflated when you put it back down, you just need to go and drive it, and all will be well when you get back in there. So yeah, that's it for this episode. From me, 9 months in the future, when I finally decide I should probably just slap an ending together. All right, next time.